Hello everybody, my name is Ender. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be going over the possible release date of the first snapshot for 1.17, the next major update coming to Minecraft, and the full release. First, we'll glance at a few snapshots and then some full releases. Making videos about 1.17 is something that I really enjoy. Let me know if you enjoy them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Notification bell as well, so you never miss an upload. So take a seat, sit back, relax, maybe grab a snack, and enjoy the video. So it's time for some speculation. In the background I have random footage of me caving on Minecraft. Now we can take a look at previous first snapshots for recent updates. We can take those dates and hopefully get a rough idea of when we could see the first snapshot for 1.17. So the first snapshot we'll be looking at will be 1.13, the update aquatic. Now this was snapshot 18W07A, and this was released on February 14th of 2018. Since this was the first snapshot for 1.13, it included most of the features. Now again, this was the first snapshot of the update aquatic, so that was around the beginning of the year. Now if we go a little further into 1.14, the village and pillage update, that first snapshot was 18W43A. So it was released the same year, but this time it was released on October 24th, 2018. So the same year 1.13 was released. Then jumping forward another year, we'll take a look at 1.15, the Buzzy Bee update. The first snapshot for this update was 19W34A. It included almost all the features in this update, and it was released on August 22nd, 2019. So around the middle of the year. And finally, the first snapshot for the Nether update, which was 1.16, the most recent major update for Minecraft, that was 20W06A. Released on February 5th, 2020. So do you see a pattern? Yeah, me neither. These are pretty mixed up dates, but there actually kind of is a pattern. It seems like Mojang tends to release the first snapshot around the end of the year or the beginning of the year. Now when do I think the first snapshot for 1.17 will be released? Well, I'm thinking around the end of this year, but that's just speculation and completely my opinion. So now that we've covered snapshots, let's check out the full releases for all of these recent updates. This will again hopefully get us an idea of when the full release for 1.17 will come. So full releases. Again, we're starting out with 1.13, the aquatic update, which the full release for this update was on July 18th, 2018. So if it was on July 18th of 2018 and the first snapshot was on February 14th, it only took them about 8 months to produce this update. So now, let's take a look at 1.14. The full release for 1.14 was on April 23rd of last year, 2019. Now the first snapshot, again, was on October 24th. So, again, around 8 months. Now the Buzzy Bee update was different. This was released on December 10th of 2019. Now the first snapshot for the Buzzy Bee update was on August 22nd. So, just a few months. But that's mainly because the Buzzy Bee update was a very tiny update. And finally, the full release for the Nether update was on June 23rd, 2020. So, just a couple months ago. So, the Nether update was released a couple months ago, and the first snapshot for the Nether update was on February 5th. So, only a few months in the making, even though the Nether update was a pretty massive update. About the biggest update Minecraft has ever received so far. So that time there was actually more of a noticeable pattern. Most of these updates were released around the middle of the year, except for one of them, the Buzzy Bees update. This update was released at a weird time. If 1.17 was a smaller update, I feel like the snapshots would start pretty close to the end of the year, and then the full release would arrive around the start of summer, because the development time for 1.15 was about half a year. But again, I could be totally wrong. This is all just speculation. So now that we're done covering the possible release of 1.17, it's time to talk about the features. So we knew that in last year's biome vote, the mountains won. Now let's take a look at the year before. The biome that won in 2018 was the taiga, and the taiga was updated after that. So this means that the mountains could maybe be updated next. That doesn't mean it will. We still have 4 other biomes that haven't been updated. It may be a bit much, but Mojang could update some or all of the biomes that didn't win. This would be the desert, savanna, mesa, and swamp. If Mojang doesn't update these biomes soon, then that might become a problem. Okay, so let's think about 1.15 real quick. 1.15 was the Buzzy Bees update, right? This update was relatively small. This update mainly focused on polishing Minecraft and fixing a lot of bugs. 1.15 actually fixed lots of bugs, like hundreds. Since this update fixed so many bugs, it made the Nether update a lot easier to develop. 1.15 basically got the Nether update ready to produce. So what I'm thinking is 1.17 might be a smaller update focusing on performance and bug fixing. It only makes sense. Java Edition is in need of performance enhancements. So if 1.17 was a smaller update, it would make future updates like 1.18 and 1.19 easier to create. Bug fixing is always a good thing. Picture this. Let's say 1.17 is a smaller update focusing on polishing. Let's also say 1.18 is something like the cave update. Now let's think back a bit. 1.15 was a smaller update focusing on polishing. And then we got 1.16, the Nether update. That was a really big update. Wouldn't it make sense if 1.17 was a smaller update and then 1.18 a bigger update? I'd say so. But there's also another update in the works. It's a brand new combat update. More so, new combat mechanics. This update is being developed by Jeb and has been being developed for almost a year. Jeb is the lead developer at Mojang. There have been test snapshots coming out for this update to test out brand new combat mechanics. This update is going to try to tie both Java and Bedrock combat together, making them almost the same. Jeb says that this update is getting closer to what he wants it to be, so we could see the update soon. There is the potential for receiving these new combat mechanics in the 1.17 update, along with the other features as well. This has actually happened before. Back when the first End update came out, a few years ago, we also received some new combat mechanics. Now, the End Update V2 has been highly requested by the Minecraft community, including me. Wouldn't it be cool if we got an End Update V2 along with new combat mechanics just like the previous one? I mean, think about it. The Nether update is now out, and that dimension has received a lot of depth and life in it. Now, when we look at the End, it's a blank slate for Mojang to work with. There could be updated end cities, new biomes, new mobs, new blocks. That would be perfect. I think that would be sweet. Honestly, if 1.17 was the End Update V2 with the new combat mechanics, it would make sense, but also, I would be more than happy. Before we end today's video, let's speculate on the cave update. So for some reason, everyone wants a cave update, but I can see why. It really comes down to a few reasons. 1. People are tired of the cave generation. 2. Caves are too predictable. And 3. Caves are old and need something new. So people are tired of the cave generation. I kind of am too. This kind of ties in with the next reason. When you think of a cave, you probably think of a plain tunnel that either eventually has a dead end or more splitting off tunnels. See what I mean? Caves have become way too predictable. Caves haven't really been updated ever. They've been pretty much the same since they were first added. If Mojang made caves less predictable, then that would be perfect. Now how could they be less predictable? Well, let's start simple first. There could be different cave generation to start off. That would twist things up a bit and make things more interesting. Caves have become too predictable. When you find a cave, you basically already know what it's going to look like. If caves got new things like dead ends that you dig through, and they were a really huge room, that would be amazing. Or if we got some sort of cave entrance that was gigantic, I think that would be super interesting. Or maybe different types of caves depending on which biome you're in. But what if instead of changing the caves in the overworld, there was a brand new cave dimension? That way, the overworld still had the classic feel to it. If there was a new cave dimension, that would be the perfect opportunity for new ores, new mobs, new blocks, all sorts of stuff. Personally, if Mojang did a cave update, I would like to see a brand new cave dimension, and then leave the overworld caves the same for the most part. Now, let's think about structures. There are a few structures that generate in caves, such as abandoned mineshafts, strongholds, and dungeons. Those kind of twist things up a little bit, but we already know what those look like, and they've become not very interesting. What if we got updates to all of those? In mineshafts, we could find a special ore that is used for a new armor type, and we could get brand new mineshafts as well. We could get a brand new stronghold structure, and we could have entirely new dungeons. I think it would be pretty neat if there was some sort of portal that generated inside the mine shafts that would lead you to a new cave dimension. Maybe to charge up that portal, it takes a special item that has to be crafted using a new ore that can only be found inside the mine shafts. I think that would be brilliant. But this is all just a thought. If Mojang brought more depth to the caves and their structures, I think that would make things more interesting and less predictable. So what do I think? Well, I think that 1.17 will be the mountain update, but I could be wrong. When Mojang announced 1.16 and called it the Nether update, we, or at least I, wasn't expecting it. The Nether update was a highly requested update though, just like the cave update. I feel like 1.17 could also be some sort of cave update, but we'll really just have to wait and see. Things like this are hard to predict sometimes, and we really never know. Once Minecon happens and all that, I will be making a video over the announcements and all the events that happened there. What do you think? Will 1.17 be the mountains update or something else? Tell me down below. While you're down there, it would be a good idea to leave a like and subscribe. That way, I can make more videos like this for you guys. That's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and remember, stay safe out there. I have been Ender. Go have a good day, everybody. Goodbye.